Hey there, everybody. How's it going? So there's a lot to cover today. We have two events going on at the same time. As you can see on the screen there, we've got the boss battle simulator and a battle challenge event, both with good old Pete as our boss. We'll get into that a little bit later. Feel free to use timestamps to kind of jump around if there's one section in particular you're interested about. But we also got a big news info dump regarding the upcoming plans for June. And it seems like they've got quite a bit planned coming up for June. The first thing that I want to talk about is the new Rarity. So Rarity 6, or like 6-star, whatever you want to call it. The 6-star Rarity is going to be unlocked starting next week. So after maintenance next week, we will have access to the 6-star Rarity. It's going to take this new orb called a Wisdom Orb, and it's even going to take a special kind of pixel to upgrade beyond level 90. So when if and when you are able to unlock 6-star Rarity on one of your units, you'll then be able to increase their max level to 110, which should increase their stats significantly. So you definitely want to do that, especially on like your damage dealers. If you're really into like boss sim, and you want your damage dealers to deal even more damage for a higher score, that's probably going to be your primary concern. Now you can see here, just based on this sort of visual, that it is going to require picks, as well as a new type of orb fragment material. You'll see this sort of rainbow orb fragment, and then you're going to need pixels. So pixels and this new orb fragment in order to actually craft these wisdom orbs. And based on what we're sort of seeing here, you'll get the wisdom orb recipe by clearing, by basically finishing the whole story on normal. So you see it, you have to clear story stage 519 on normal in order to get the recipe. And then the special fragments, I think, in order to actually get them, as you can see here, will only be obtained as a reward from events for now. They may eventually make them farmable at some point. Maybe with like chapter 6 or something like that, they'll make them farmable. But yeah, based on this information, it looks like they're only going to be from like special events and things. So it's going to be a pretty big bottleneck, I think, for most players to get those. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see, right? And then there's the super upgrade pixels. This is what you're going to need to actually increase the level beyond level 90. So you can unlock 6-star, but you can't actually increase the level beyond 90 without these super upgrade pixels, which will take, again, pix, regular pixels, and then this stuff called super upgrade glue, or super pixel glue, or pixel glue, whatever it is. So again, the recipe for that, again, will unlock as long as you finished story stage 519 on normal. And again, the pixel glue will only be available as a reward from events at this time. Later on, once 6 stars become more of like a common thing, then they'll probably hand them out a little bit more freely. But for now, it's going to be a pretty big limited item, right? Because they don't want everybody just like making a fully loaded 6-star team right away. They want to kind of trickle feed it to you. But that's pretty exciting. So that's something we can look forward to. And again, that starts next week after maintenance. There are some other really cool things coming up. So again, the 6-star Rarity, again, this is just sort of showing you that, which we've already covered. There'll be a new rescue signal event. I'm not really sure, but my thinking is this is going to be a Alice in Wonderland is what it looks like. This looks like the Cheshire Cat to me. I'm not sure what you guys think, but that definitely looks like the Cheshire Cat. And this looks like, I don't know, maybe like a mix of you got like the big, clock from like the, who was it that was wearing the big clock? I can't remember. It was like the character that was wearing like that big clock, right? But yeah, it looks like something out of Alice in Wonderland. I could be wrong. Definitely let me know what you think in the comments below. That's just my guess. And then later on, we're going to get a very hard upgrade to Story Chapter 1. So, currently there's just normal mode, hard mode for Chapter 1. Well, apparently they're upgrading it to a very hard mode. And, presumably this is where we'll probably get some of those new materials for crafting 6-star stuff, like the 6-star fragments and the glue. So this is probably where we'll be getting that. You do have to have cleared 518 hard. That's the boss stage. So you do have to have cleared that, and you have to have your player rank must be you must be at least silver rank in order to get that. So that means you have to have 101 levels, basically rank levels. So you got to be silver at least in order to access this very hard state. So it's definitely intended more for players that have been playing for a while and have been grinding a lot. And so that's kind of exciting to see. It's like a new challenge for those of us that have been sticking with the game for a while now. Because if you've been playing the game since it began, or like within like the first month or two of when it started, you should definitely be silver level by now. All right. And then there's this Stitch Day. So maybe this is for like the new Lilo and Stitch movie that's coming out. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it looks like it's just some like special login bonuses and some limited time missions to get some tickets. I mean, it's not anything too crazy, but free stuff is free, so not going to complain about that. There is another battle challenge mini, so that's what's currently going on right now, and we'll talk a little bit more about the current battle challenge event and how it's different from previous ones. Pros and cons to the new system, but it looks like based on this that this is going to be sort of like an every other week type of event. And it may run concurrently with boss battle sims. So this may be sort of like a new trend that we're seeing, where we get boss battle, boss simulators and battle challenges every other week, which is kind of nice. I mean, it means we have some content, constant content going on. And if they're just going to like recycle bosses and stuff for it, that's fine. It gives us something to do each week at least, rather than just having dead weeks. But yeah, we'll talk more about the current battle challenge event in just a minute. The Pocket Adventure minigame is coming back. So for those of you that enjoyed it, based on this, it looks like it's going to be coming out every other week. So they'll probably alternate it. It looks like they're going to alternate that with these battle challenge and boss sim events. So on weeks where you don't have a boss sim and a battle challenge, you'll have the Pocket Adventure minigame going on. And so, yeah, we kind of knew that it was going to be a recurring thing. We just weren't sure how often. Now it looks like we're pretty sure it's going to be every other week, which means after 20 weeks, is assuming you cleared out all those medals for your Adventure Mickey, you get a free LB level, which is kind of nice. Hopefully you guys did well on that. I was number one for pretty much the whole week. And then the last day, like literally within the last 12 hours of the event, somebody in my group just like absolutely crushed it, played an amazing run, scored nearly 8,000 points. My best was like 5,200 or 5,300 or something like that. And yeah, like within the last 12 hours of the event, this person just absolutely crushed it. So I humbly accepted my second place trophy after that. And, hopefully I can do better in the next one. Maybe just get paired in a group without, with someone that doesn't do quite so well. But anyways, hope you guys did well in it. I had a lot of fun with this event, so I'm glad it's coming back. I really enjoyed it. It's a nice sort of a quirky little side game that you get to play. And yeah, as you can see, boss battle sims every other week. So I think that's just sort of the way things are going to go from here on out. So yeah, we got a lot to look forward to this month. I am a little sad to see that there's no new story chapter coming out, but I think this very hard version will at least be something to do, especially for those of us that have been playing the game for a while and can actually access it. Unfortunately, those folks that maybe are just starting the game won't have access to it because they probably won't be silver level yet, but it is what it is. Hopefully we get a new chapter 6 at some point in the next month or so, but it does not look like it's coming in June. All right, So that's the news. Let's talk about the events. So I'm going to start with the battle challenge, and then I'll talk about the boss sim, because the battle challenge is a little bit different this time. Boss simulator is pretty much like every other boss sim, and so we'll talk about that after we do the battle challenge. So biggest difference between this and the previous battle challenge events is that there are only 15 floors. All right, so in that sense, that's why it's mini. It also only lasts 1 week, so do keep that in mind. 1 week only. You have 1 week to try and crush it and farm everything out. For me, the easiest auto farm level is level 9. That's the last level I can consistently auto farm with a totally auto battle team. But I've been mostly manualing level 15. But a big difference here is that these now cost stamina. It costs 5 stamina to run any of these stages. So honestly, you just want to do the best one you can in order to get the most points you can per run. If all you have time for is autoing, then auto level 9. That's the best you're gonna get. If you can somehow auto level 10 or higher, go for it. I've just been manualing level 15 as much as possible, and then when I don't have the patience or the time to do manual, I just auto level 9. But yeah, the stamina requirement is definitely a difference. The exchange shop is also a little bit different. So first of all, they give out 10 more free tickets to the Dancer Goofy banner, which unfortunately I have now done 65 pulls on without seeing a single gold. I did get my pity Dancer Goofy. He's still at LB0, but I have had absolutely zero luck on this banner, not even pulling a single gold in 65 pulls, which just it really sucks. But yeah, definitely go grab those tickets from the exchange shop. Like, that should be a priority. Also, you notice they have Singer Cinderella. So if you didn't pick her up, if you already picked her up, it'll show as sold out. So mine already shows as sold out because I picked her up from the first Battle Challenge event where she was released. But you can still get some medals even if you already have her at LB Max, and you can sell those in the recycle, the medaling recycling option, which if you're wondering where that is, if you go to shops, no, sorry, not shops. Oh, no, it is shops, yeah. So, and then you go to recycling points. You can sell, you have to go over, you have to sell metals. It's all the way at the end. So if you have metals to sell, you'll sell them here, and then you can buy stuff in the recycling shop. Now, unfortunately, the metals that we get from, the metals for Cinderella that we get, I think is only like 2,000. You only get like 2,000 recycle points. So you can't actually buy anything. You can't even buy the tickets at the bottom. Like, you can't even buy the gotcha tickets with what you get from that. But obviously the big prizes here are medals for other units that you might not have, especially limited units. So, hopefully over time we'll be able to accumulate enough recycle points from that stuff in order to actually get something good. So it's one of those sort of, you got to think about the long game, similar to like the 10 medals for Adventurer Mickey. Think about the long game. Think about, you do these events and you keep doing these events, and eventually you'll accumulate enough stuff to actually buy something from the shop or get some reward from it. So think about the long game, right? But definitely get the Goofy tickets. That should be your primary thing. Get those Goofy tickets. My next priority is going to be the Cinderella medals, and then probably start doing like orbs, and then orbs, seeds, that kind of stuff. The stuff that I need mostly. So orbs, seeds, attack cubes. I honestly don't care about the avatar crafting stuff. Like, until that stuff actually becomes useful, I'm not bothering. And to me, none of that stuff is useful. Now the ranking, I believe people have been saying that the ranking this time is actually based on your total score. instead of being able to beat level 15. Normally it was just based on the highest level you could get, but it looks like it's instead being based on your score. So there is a little bit of incentive to just keep grinding it to get the total points. Also, the more points you get, the more stuff you get, the more rewards you get from your limited time job center rewards, right? And so you see, you get premier gotcha tickets for hitting like 50,000 points, 60, 70, 80, 90. But then starting at 100,000, you get more Dancer Goofy tickets. So that's 30 free tickets that are up for grabs for Dancer Goofy's banner. So if you haven't pulled anything on Dancer Goofy, you haven't spent any crystals on them, at least spend these, like try to get these tickets, because if you use all of these tickets, that's basically, you are 3/5 of a way to pity, which means it only costs 6,000 crystals to pity this unit, which is, I mean, that's just astounding. But definitely try and get these. It is a pretty steep thing to try and get. Like, you got to get 300,000 points in the battle challenge event, and keep in mind this only lasts a week. All right, you see we've only got 5 days left already. It's really 6, but it's, you know, just slightly less than 6, so the clock looks like 5 days. But yeah, you don't have a lot of time to do this, and so they're really sort of pressuring you to get these things, and to, you know, basically just grind this thing out. So if you're not a fan of grind, this probably isn't going to make you too happy, but you know, it's definitely worth it in my opinion to try and get those free tickets to try and pull on Goofy's banner, because for one, Goofy's a bonus unit for this event. So it's going to make farming for him a lot better and a lot easier. 2, Dancer Goofy is a very, very strong unit. If you saw my unit review in the last video I did last week, you know that he is a very solid unit. He's extremely strong as a damage dealer, but also he brings that attack up boost buff to your party if you get him to LB1 or higher. So he's definitely a good unit to bring into just about any party. All right, so I'm going to show you real quick the team that I use for level 15 hard. So you can use this strategy if you want. Just to beat the boss. You can use it as a farming strategy if you're looking for like a decent farm strategy. Again, if you're looking for an auto battle team, just do level 9. I don't have a very good auto battle party, so level 9 is the best I can do, and it's you should be able to do it with just about any unit. Notice my Dancer Goofy is still LB0. Poor me. I do have an LB1 Carnival Goofy just because over time, you know, after 6 or 7 months of playing, eventually you get, you know, a couple LV levels on these Silver Star and Bronze units. So I'm rocking 150% bonus on here. Belle is just my attack buffer. Obviously, she just makes things go faster because she brings the crit buffs. And then Cruella is there for heals, defense, and damage reduction. So Pete hits really hard. Luckily, in the battle challenge, he does not use an attack buff, thankfully. But even without the attack buff, when he does his AoE, boy, does it hit hard. So having defense buffs and damage reduction is really helpful. So Cruella is great for bringing all that in one piece. So this battle right here is why Cruella exists. Very, very strong unit to bring into the party. Marie is here just for SP recharge. So she's got SP gain up on EX skill activation, so we just are generating as much SP as possible. So this party gets it done in about 5 turns if I'm lucky, 6 turns pretty consistently, 7 turns if I'm unlucky, all right? So let's get in here and I'll show you how we get this done. Okay, so first thing I do, I defend with Goofy, and what we're gonna do is the first 2 turns, we're just gonna get our buffs up, all right? Because the thing is, I don't wanna push him into rage mode too quickly, because there's a good chance he'll do an AoE, and he could knock out either Goofy. Because my Dancer Goofy and my Carnival Goofy have very low defense, there is a good chance. Why is she attacking? I must have forgotten to set her on defense. Sorry, I'm gonna back out real quick because my Marie was supposed to defend there. I forgot to set her on defense so that she generates SP. All right, let's just fix that. Defend. There you go. So everybody defends except for Belle and Cruella. We're just getting all of our buffs up. Okay, and this way we don't push rage mode too quickly because then there's a good chance he'll do an AoE and he'll have that attack buff up and it'll really hurt. We're going to do the exact same thing here on turn 2. So now our buffs are maxed, but this time we're probably going to push the threshold. Yep. All right, so we pushed him. Now he does the heavy attack. Okay, but since our damage dealers are guarding, they don't get hurt nearly as much. Now Belle looks like she might be in trouble, but from here on out, the attacks should be very, very weak because we're going to push him almost instantly into confusion mode, and then we'll have several turns while he's in confusion mode to just kind of rebuild from there. And we're basically just going to try and skill as much every turn as possible. And so from here, it's almost just a tap and go because Marie keeps us all topped up on SP, and we're basically just tapping, just doing a tap and go from here on out until the boss is dead. All right. So yeah, Belle doesn't have enough to do her skill on that turn, but that's fine. So I have them in this turn order for that reason. Because her buffs aren't quite as important later on because we just want to make sure that we're hitting the boss every turn with some strong skills. And when she does get her buff up, great. So we're just tap and go, tap and go. All right, depending on how lucky I get with the crits, sometimes I knock them out on turn 5, but more often than not, it goes to turn 6. If I'm really unlucky with the crits, then it might go to turn 7. Okay, so you see, because our buffs are really good and the boss was in confusion mode there, that heavy attack, and even though he did the single target move on Dancer Goofy, it wasn't enough to kill him. All right, so okay, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and attack, and there you go. All right, so that's how I took care of the battle challenge boss up to 15, and that's basically what I'm doing. I'm just grinding that. Every time. I've been going all day. I have 240 max stamina. I've been going all day, and this is as far as I've gotten, down to 110. It's like, yeah, the grind is real. The grind is real for this one, folks. But yeah, anyways, I'm pretty close to hitting that first milestone of 50,000 points to get a couple of Premier Gotcha tickets, but it's going to take a while. And yeah, it's going to take a while to probably clear out the shop too, but I think if you hit that 300,000 points, you should be able to clear out pretty much everything by the end of the week. So there's really no rush to just like buy stuff in the shop. Like the rush is to try and hit that 300,000 points as soon as possible, and then you can go in and buy stuff. I've been using the Goofy tickets just because I want to try it. I've just been trying to get a dupe of him just so I can get him to LB1, get a little bit more bonus, but I've been super unlucky with this banner, and it's making me a little salty, but yeah, it is what it is. All right, boss simulator. So nothing really different about this one except for the fact that Pete is a complete ass, and just again, he hits like a freaking truck. He'll do an attack buff before doing his AoE attack, which just absolutely ruins your day. So I have not had very good luck with the boss battle simulator. I'll do a few runs here for you guys. The damage bonus units are just all the Goofy units, and unfortunately, it's only 150% bonus, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I've just been using Dancer Goofy along with my hero Mickey for the Blue Striker one. So I'll show you the team that I've been running. That's not it. Where is it? Oh no, sorry, this is the one I do. This is my auto farm team for level 6, in case you're wondering, or level 9, whatever it is, level 9 on the other event. So this is my auto farm team, but the number of points isn't nearly as good. All right, let's see. I think it's basically the same team here. Oh, that's right. It's basically the same team that I use here, except I just swap out Hero Mickey. So I'm just going to do that. And yeah. So here we go. So it's pretty much the exact same team. Because again, we need Cruella for the heals, for the buffs and everything. We need Marie for the SP, and yeah, we just go. I tried doing Patisserie Mini in place of Marie, but honestly, I prefer having Marie so that I get more SP, so that we can make sure Cruella is able to heal every turn, because we need it. we need it. There's just nothing else we can say there. Yeah, you notice I've got the shooting star miracle action. I wanted to see if I could actually get this miracle action up and available, but I can't. Like, no matter what I do, this miracle action is never available during the fight within the first 5 turns, so it's completely useless to me. But I don't actually need the Brave Beat, because I don't really need the SP, thanks to Marie, so I just left it on that one. But yeah, I've never gotten this miracle ability to be up and available for this fight. Anyways, let's get in here. We're going to do probably a couple of runs at this guy and see just how awful we do. It's probably going to be bad. But yeah, basically same strategy. So we try and get our buffs up, and then we start trying to deal some damage. Yep, so you see he does an attack boost. Now, he didn't do the AoE, thankfully, but yeah, he will most likely do it when we enter confusion mode, which means we're probably going to die. Now, since my hero Mickey's LB2, he has a pretty high defense stat, so he can actually take it, but I am going to defend with my Goofy, because he will die if the boss does an AoE. All right, so I just, yeah. But I'll go ahead and do that. This will make sure that we push him out of that mode and into confusion mode, which should reduce the damage a little bit. Okay, so yeah, if I hadn't defended with Goofy, he probably would have been dead, if not close to it. All right, so now we can we'll heal. We'll do another Hero Mickey, but I can just attack with Goofy now. Okay. Okay, so my crits haven't been too good here, I don't think. Oh my god, like, that is just unbelievable. That is just unbelievable. Man, alright, well. Kills me, bruh. Like, a friggin' boss battle sim should not hit this hard, especially in confusion mode. Like, that's just obnoxious. And you can't attack break him either. He cannot be attack broken, which is even more just absolutely rude. So this is the last turn, so we're just going to hit and just try and do as much damage as we can here. So that's why I'm having everybody attack. Yeah, my crits were shite here too. Yeah, I always get the miracle at the end of turn 5. Oh yeah, that was just dreadful because Mickey died. Yeah, this guy's awful. I am not I'm not happy with this boss simulator. I'm gonna do one more just to see if we get a little bit luckier on the draw here. But yeah, that was absolutely terrible. See if we can get some better crits this time. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and do these guys. There we go. Now we're getting some crits. Let's get some more. Come on, man. All right. We can just attack here. We'll do some more healing. Actually, I might guard Belle just because I'm a little bit worried. She's looking a little bit low there, and I definitely don't want her to die from anything. All right, let's go for it. There we go. Let's see. Let's get some more crits here, folks. More crits. Yeah. All right. There's a couple of crits. Nice. All right, so everyone's alive. That's good. Okay, I don't have enough to do Bell. Let's see. So I might, yeah, unfortunately I'm gonna have to do that, aren't I? God, I'm like too short. I'm too shy, just 2 SP shy of getting Bell and Goofy on there. That's ridiculous. All right, but I definitely need Bell's buff here. And I want to keep the defense break on with Mickey, so. All right, great. I got another critical. That's awesome. All right, sweet. Everyone's still alive. Oh no, seriously? All right. Well, I want to do the skill anyways. All right, so everybody attack. Let's just go for it. I probably should just swap back over to the SP one. I'm gonna get another crit. Yeah. Not bad. So maybe that was a decent run. Let's see how we did. Hey, all right. That was not bad. Not bad at all. Cool. All right. Yeah, I mean, I've got a couple more runs, but I'm not going to bore you guys with those. We can look at what some of the other top teams are doing, but you know, I could probably do better if my Goofy was like LB1 or LB2, because then I'd get that extra attack up boost. So most of the people in the top ranks probably have like an LB2, LB3 or higher Dancer Goofy. You see pretty much everyone at the top is running Dancer Goofy with Bell. But also with Cruella. As you can see, Cruella is definitely really, really important. And if your units are able to handle it, you know, chuck in Carnival Goofy as well, because, you know, he does get the damage boost. So, but a lot of these guys are whales, and their Carnival Goofy is like LB 4, 5, 6, maybe even LB max. Like I think Sirius actually has an LB max Carnival Goofy, so that gives you like some idea of why you might be seeing Carnival Goofy at these higher levels, just because these are whales who have, you know, lots of LB levels on their Carnival Goofy. But yeah, I just can't. You know, I can't do that. And you see these guys are rocking the Brave Beat. So honestly, that's probably the better one to go for. I think I probably could have actually gotten a better score if I did have Brave Beat, just because I would have had enough SP to do another skill with my Goofy. So I think I am going to swap that over. But, you know, I'm not going to bore you guys with that now. That's pretty much it. This video has gone on long enough, over 30 minutes. Whew. Thank you so much if you're still with me. I sincerely appreciate you guys, and I'll see you on the other side.